Our current situation today is constantly surprising. We are seeing drones, UAPs, and any and all of the above in our skies, but more so recently, there has been large numbers of individuals actively saying that they are seeing what they feel is non-human intelligence and crafts of that nature. There has been a large, massive spread of these particular contact sightings. I don't believe the news is actively showing this side of the picture as much as it is actually happening. But it has been stated by many witnesses that they are seeing UFO craft, and they are interacting with the craft. Whether it be the craft moving in confirmation to a question or some thought form. But this has been the big talk of everyone online. And that people are coming out to say, no, these are not just drones. They are actually seeing what they feel are UAPs or non-human intelligence craft. So today, I thought a little bit about this, and I really wanted to share with people, why are these positive ETs interested in us? And why are they helping us? And my personal take on all this, I believe this is the Galactic Alliances, or some say Galactic Federations, first attempt at contact, or to try to establish and make comfortable the people of Earth, and make an attempt to show friendly interaction and display of their ships. This has not only been experienced by the public, but the individuals have also heard messages from the Galactic Alliance that they would be making themselves visible slowly, and an attempt to create a non-hostile, very positive, subtle contact interaction with people. For those that don't know, through my research, I found that the current group that is out in our skies is the Galactic Alliance, formerly known as the Galactic Federation. Before some internal problems took place, they had to realign and reform themselves under a slightly different name. Now, this group was also connected to the Guardian Alliance. So one thing that's really important when trying to understand this is one needs to actually go back to why are we here? Where did we come from as humans, and same with the Earth? Essentially, humanity and the planet Earth were all planned phenomenon. It initially was going to be an experiment, a test of some sorts of free will, as well as a few other components, but to see if humanity would be able to make it into a fifth dimension level ascension. Many beings chose to father this experiment, so there were a number of extraterrestrials that donated their DNA to be a part of creating what they wanted. It was a combination of all the civilizations, or some of the best civilizations, and the best representatives of those civilizations to come together and form one united race, where everyone would have had connections to genetically, and could also help with the evolution of everyone else by it being a more of a superior race. This race was to be the kind of like the universal donor, or when it comes to beings that were becoming extinct or having evolutionary problems, this race would be able to have the genetic disposition to be able to help pretty much any extraterrestrial group out there that was potentially looking at extinction. This is also what God Source Creator's divine plan, what really was the continuation of evolution for all beings who wish to return back to Source, as opposed to something much more unpleasant and negative. So with this being said, to my knowledge, it began with 22 or 23 seeders that initially gave genetic DNA to the human race here over the time. I'm sure it's been more, but originally, it was also just 12. You need to understand that when we are holding this DNA, the DNA was donated, but the souls that come into the bodies, or that come to the planet, to be a part of this, well, they are typically the top representatives of advanced civilizations, typically in other universes. So this was a request made by God Source Creator, who gathered many from different universes to come together, and he wanted to get the best of the best, so that in case something happened, that if they were really tested to their core, that they would be able to still hold the light. And everyone, that is exactly what has happened. The Lightworkers came through as the ground team, the awakened team in the last 2 years, processing old vibrations and old frequencies, and from the planet processing karmic stuff from within the collective, and having to hold the light, not just for themselves and the awakened team, but also for the unawakened group or majority of the mass is on the planet, And this had to be done while they were being mocked, at times humiliated, as well as censored, and a number of other really unpleasant things. So luckily this happened, and we were able to get the frequency of the planet to go high enough so that the ascension was 100% locked in, guaranteed. And it pretty much anyone who wants to be a part of the ascension, as opposed to not having the ascension for themselves, simply just needs to make that choice. Since our DNA is connected to these other extraterrestrials, well, since we've been healing ourselves, it's been healing the entire universe. It's been healing other race lines that had maybe problems over the last 10-15 years, didn't know if they were going to survive. They needed certainty, DNA, certain things to happen. But because we are all connected, we are all one. Us coming here and actually standing in the light has created a phenomenon across the universe where people are miraculously becoming healed, and just magical things are happening as a result of who we are and what we're doing here. We also have surpassed everyone else in terms of growth in the universe, so this is just the introduction here. But I just want to say we all hold our star brothers and sisters genetics inside of us, and when we think something positive, they feel it. But when we think something negative and something that maybe isn't an alignment with God's source creator starts happening, they can feel that too. And that's a big reason why they're helping. Because I know from experience when you're in some situation kind of like that, that's what you do, you help. So there's many positive ETs, all of them, to my opinion, in the near-Earth orbit space, are positive ETs. They have their ships cloaked. So it's not to scare people, but they're in the process of decloaking, and that's what you're seeing in the skies.